Hey there! Welcome to Tifa Letters, the AAPI Heritage Month edition by the Filipino American Woman Project. I'm your host, Jen Amos, here to read out loud letters inspired by real conversations with you. It all begins with one line: if I could say one thing. Because sometimes one thing is all we need to take up a little more space. Let's get started. If I could say one thing to my younger self, it's this: that space between Filipino and American was always meant for you to fill in. Dear little Hana, one day you're going to grow up and become a singer. And you will learn that not only are you pretty darn good at it, but you'll find that it'll be your way of expressing what it means to be Filipino American. Not just Filipino, not just American, Filipino American. One of your greatest memories when you get older will be a night in college when you have a performance showcase, end of the semester, the kind where everyone's family shows up with flowers and the auditorium hums with a mix of nerves and excitement. The audience is diverse, a room full of people who don't all share the same story, the same background, the same idea of what it means to be here today in America. I, which is you, but I'll speak in I statements, I walk out onto that stage and I feel all of it. Every I, every expectation. And then I grab the mic, I open my mouth, and I sing. The song is a slow build, tender at first, like something being carefully held. As it opens up, there's a longing in it, the kind that sits in the chest and doesn't quite have a name, just a feeling. And by the time I reach the middle of the song, the music has grown into something fuller, warmer, like a feeling you've been carrying out for a long time, finally being allowed to take up space. And then, just before the final chorus, the part where everything the song has been building up toward is about to arrive, I do something I've been trained, but never fully trusted. I let the note go. I stop. I hold the silence. Just for a breath, maybe two. No lyrics, no melody, just the space between where the song has been and where it's about to go. And the room goes still. Not quite the way an audience is quiet when they're waiting, but the way people go still when something reaches them somewhere they didn't know they were open. I can see it from the stage, the shoulders dropping, arms uncrossing. I mean, someone in the back who was looking at his phone isn't anymore. My family in the front row close their eyes like they're receiving something. All of them, different people from different worlds, deeply experiencing the same pause by the space I created. The space between the notes is what moves them. Not the beginning of the song, and not the end. The breath in between. The pause that connects where the song started to where it's going. It's the pause that makes the whole song. It's a song because of that pause, that space that I created, that space that I stand in. And standing there in that silence, though brief, I felt something shift inside me, something I've been trying to name my whole life. But before I can hold on to it, I'm 8 years old again. I flash back in time to a new school, a new playground, a new opportunity to make friends. I've always been extroverted, chatty, friendly, easy to talk to. It's no wonder I ended up becoming a singer. I couldn't get enough of the public eye, even as young as I was. And maybe that's why it was just so common to be asked the second question. But Hannah, where are you really from? You know the first question, even before it's asked. Hannah, where are you from? Easy. Los Angeles. But the second question? You know, the one I eventually stopped holding my breath for because I just knew it was always going to come. Okay, but where are you really from? Translation? You don't look like you're from here, so explain yourself. As young as I was, I heard this so much that I always knew within a split second how to answer. I needed to play it cool. Keep my friendships flowing, not trying to disrupt or make them think differently of me. So I would say, playfully, casually, well, my parents say I was born here in LA, but they come from the Philippines. And every time, without fail, it would start a ripple effect. Oh, I had a feeling you were Asian, but I thought you were like Chinese or something. Then another friend goes, no, she looks kind of Japanese. Maybe Hawaiian? Korean? How come you look more Chinese though? As the years went on, I developed a performative reflex to this question. Where are you really from, Hannah? Well, that's a great question. Sometimes I'd switch up my response. Same phrase, different tone. Great question. Now that is the $1,000,000 question. What a fantastic question. I was charming, playful, light, and fun about it. I made it easy for my friends to ask and keep asking. I made it so nobody could tell how it really made me feel to be asked that question, the second question, over and over and over again. And every time I would get asked that question, even as good as I got at deflecting it, that space between Filipino American often felt like an open wound, one that just kept reopening every time someone asked me. No, but really, Hannah, where are you really from? No, really, friends, why do you really care? Among my American friends, I couldn't help but feel like I wasn't enough. And then, amongst my Filipino community and my own family, it wasn't any better. Every time I'd visit the Philippines and hung out with my favorite cousins, usually at the end of our conversations, they would say stuff like, Hannah, I wish you could just speak our native tongue. And I know what they were really saying. I know that they were saying that there's just so much more we could bond over, we can talk about, we can understand about each other. But because I don't speak our native tongue, we can't get there. And maybe we'll never get there. And that same language and cultural barrier is constantly in front of me at home with my mother. My mother, though having lived in America for decades now, can still speak her native tongue, still has her accent, and still has her own way of seeing and living in America. I may have come from her womb, but our worldly perspectives are so different. It's like night and day. Every time we clash and every time we try to find common ground, it's like we're just talking past each other. Part of it was rebellion on my end, I admit. But when the dust settles, it's a genuine ache of not being able to fully understand where she is coming from. The nuances, the inside jokes, the cultural references I just don't relate to. Things from my mom's childhood that I'll never understand. And so here I am, not feeling Filipino enough for my Filipino family and not feeling American enough for my American friends. Don't worry, Hannah. You'll find someone that will love you for all that you are. I don't know. I mean, the last time I tried dating, the first person I met on a dating app and spoke over the phone had to say, and I know this was supposed to be a compliment, but they said, "Gosh, I'm so surprised. Your English is so good." Well, surprise. Little Hannah, as the years go on, in your most vulnerable moments, you'll ask yourself, will I ever be accepted as both Filipino and American? Will these cultures ever find common ground? Can I exist without having to constantly be asked that second question? Where are you really from? Flashback to present time, and I'm back on that stage, back in the pause and in the shared space that I created with the audience. The room is still. Everyone is at the edge of their seat, watching me, waiting for me to lead them to the end of the song. I am commanding this moment. And it's in this moment, in this space, where I realize that it's not empty. It's not an open wound. It's mine to fill and to draw in people into this very precious, short, but powerful, universal connection, a shared moment that transcends that question. But where are you really from, Hannah? That shared moment becomes, it doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what you look like. What matters is unexplainable. It's the feeling of, I understand. I can relate. I feel the same way. And we are more connected and we have more in common than I ever thought possible. It's that moment I realized the power of my voice and the privilege I have to be Filipino American, to have inherited the space between Filipino American. Not Filipino or American, Filipino American. That space in the middle is filled with me, just like the pause in a song that makes the song whole. And I am whole because of it. I finish singing the song, and before you know it, a standing ovation. Talk about a beautiful shared experience that I created because I embraced the pause, the space in that song. So, little Hannah, keep claiming that space between Filipino American. Embrace it with joy, performance, and song because it's what makes you unique. And most of all, uniquely positioned to create space for universal connection. And if I could say one more thing to you, little Hannah, it's this. It doesn't matter where you're really from. It matters where you are now and how you want to create space for you and your audience. Love, your older self, Hannah. If you could reflect on one thing, it's this. How do you invite people into your space of not being Filipino, not being American, but the space between being Filipino American? Want to respond? You can reply today at tfaletters.com. That's TFAW as in the Filipino American Woman letters.com. Or better yet, write your own letter. Submissions are now open. You can include your name or stay completely anonymous. So, if you could say one thing, what would it be? Subscribe for free today at tfaletters.com and follow the steps in the welcome email to submit your letter. I hope to read yours in the next season. Happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Until the next letter, bye for now.